Every single morning, your brain goes through something that most people over 60 have absolutely no idea is happening. In the first hour after you wake up, your risk of stroke is higher than at any other point in your entire day. Not slightly higher, significantly higher. And the things most older adults do automatically in those first 60 minutes, the way they get out of bed, what they drink first, when they take their medication, are making that risk worse without a single warning sign. This is not about dramatic symptoms or obvious red flags. This is about ordinary morning habits that feel completely normal and are quietly setting the stage for one of the most devastating health events an older adult can experience. I am Wesley Harper, and today we are going deep on the morning danger window. What it is, why it exists, what 4 specific things are making it worse for millions of older adults every single day, and the 5-step morning routine that genuinely protects your brain during the most vulnerable hours of your day. If you are over 60, please stay until the end of this video, because some of what I share today is going to completely change how you think about the first hour of your morning. And right now, before we go any further, drop a comment below. What is the very first thing you do every single morning when you wake up? Just type it below. You are going to see how many people in this community share the same habits. And by the end of this video, you may want to change your answer. Before we talk about the 4 morning enemies, I want to explain why the morning hours are specifically dangerous for the brain. Because once you understand the biology, it makes everything else click into place. While you sleep, your body goes through a series of changes that are completely normal and completely necessary. But they create a combination of conditions that makes the brain vulnerable in a very specific way when you wake up. First, your body releases stress hormones, including cortisol, in the period just before you naturally wake up. This is your body's way of preparing you to get up and face the day. But it also causes a temporary rise in blood pressure and heart rate at the moment of waking. Second, after 7 or 8 hours without any fluid, your blood has naturally thickened overnight. Water leaves the body through breathing and perspiration even while you sleep. If you take any diuretic medications for blood pressure, those medications have been pulling additional fluid out of your body all night as well. By the time you open your eyes, your blood is measurably more viscous than it was when you went to sleep. Thicker blood flows more slowly. It has more difficulty passing through narrowed arteries, and it is more prone to forming clots. Third, when you go from lying flat to standing upright, gravity pulls blood down into the legs rapidly. Your heart has to compensate immediately by pumping harder. In a younger body, this adjustment happens almost instantly. In an older adult, especially one taking blood pressure medication, this adjustment is slower. There is a brief period where blood pressure drops and the brain receives slightly less blood flow than it needs. These 3 things happening simultaneously create what doctors call the morning danger window. Research has shown that a significant percentage of strokes occur in the first few hours after waking. In adults over 60, this risk is meaningfully elevated compared to younger people. And certain everyday morning habits make it dramatically worse. Let us talk about those habits now, starting with one that most people would never in a million years connect to stroke risk: coffee on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. For millions of older adults, this is the morning ritual. Wake up, walk to the kitchen, make coffee, drink it immediately. It feels like the most harmless thing imaginable. But here is what that coffee is doing to your body at the most vulnerable moment of your day. When you drink coffee on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, it causes a sharp spike in cortisol, which is already elevated because of the natural morning hormone response. You are essentially adding fuel to a fire that is already burning. Your heart rate increases, your blood pressure rises, your nervous system shifts into a state of heightened alert. At the same time, coffee on an empty stomach dramatically increases stomach acid production. This causes irritation to the digestive lining that most people chalk up to a sensitive stomach. But here is the part most people never hear. That acid irritation has been associated in research with heart rhythm irregularities, specifically atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat that is itself one of the most significant risk factors for stroke. You do not have to give up your morning coffee, not even close. The simple change is to wait at least 60 minutes after waking before drinking it, and to have it after eating something rather than before. That single adjustment removes the cardiovascular stress that comes from coffee hitting an empty stomach at the most vulnerable time of day. Your brain gets the protection of a calmer morning transition. You still get your coffee. The second morning habit is one that almost every older adult does every single day without giving it a second thought. Getting out of bed too quickly. This one sounds so minor. You wake up. You get up. How could that possibly be dangerous? But for older adults, especially those on blood pressure medications, the way you transition from lying down to standing is genuinely important. When you are lying flat, your heart does not have to work hard to get blood to your brain. Everything is at roughly the same level. The moment you stand up, gravity immediately pulls a significant volume of blood down into your legs. Your heart has to detect that drop and compensate by pumping faster and harder to restore blood flow to the brain. In a healthy younger body, this compensation happens almost instantly. In an older adult whose cardiovascular system responds more slowly, and especially in someone whose blood pressure is already being managed with medication, that compensation takes a few extra seconds. During those seconds, blood pressure drops. The brain receives less blood flow than it needs. You feel it as lightheadedness, blurred vision, or that brief moment of needing to grab onto something. Most people experience this occasionally and assume it is just a normal part of getting older. It is not. It is called orthostatic hypotension, and it is a warning sign that your cardiovascular system is struggling with that rapid transition. In its more serious form, it can cause a complete loss of consciousness. And falling while losing consciousness in the bedroom or bathroom is one of the most common causes of serious head injuries in older adults. The fix is simple and costs nothing. When you wake up, do not immediately throw back the covers and stand up. Spend 30 seconds lying still. Move your feet in slow circles. Flex your legs. Stretch your arms above your head. Then sit up and pause on the edge of the bed for another 30 seconds before standing. That 60 seconds of transition time allows your cardiovascular system to prepare for the change in position. It gives your heart time to adjust your blood pressure before you put weight on your feet. It is one of the most simple and most protective habits an older adult can build. The third morning enemy is the most underestimated one on this entire list, and it is happening to almost every older adult every single night without them knowing. Overnight dehydration. You go to sleep. You do not drink anything for 7 or 8 hours, but your body continues losing fluid the entire time, through every breath you exhale, through the natural perspiration of sleep. If you snore or have any degree of sleep apnea, the fluid loss is even greater. If you take diuretic medications for blood pressure, those medications are actively pulling fluid from your body through the night. By the time you open your eyes in the morning, you are already meaningfully dehydrated. Not severely, not in a way that feels obvious, but enough to make a real difference to how your blood flows through your arteries. Dehydrated blood is thicker. It moves more slowly through your blood vessels. It has a harder time passing through any areas where arteries have narrowed, and it is significantly more prone to forming clots. This is happening in your body every single morning before you have even gotten out of bed. The solution is straightforward, but requires building a specific habit. Keep a glass of water on your nightstand every night. If you wake up during the night for any reason, take a few sips before you go back to sleep. And the moment you wake up in the morning, before coffee, before breakfast, before anything else, drink 1 to 2 glasses of room temperature water. Not cold water, room temperature. Cold water first thing in the morning can cause a shock response in your digestive system. Room temperature water absorbs more quickly and comfortably. Adding a small pinch of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon to that morning water helps your body absorb it more effectively by providing the minerals needed to hold the fluid in the cells rather than passing it straight through. This one habit immediately begins thinning your blood and reducing the clotting risk that builds up overnight. It is one of the simplest, most direct things you can do for your brain every single morning. Now we come to the fourth morning enemy, and this is the one that carries the highest risk of all. because it involves something that millions of older adults do every single day, believing it is responsible and healthy. Taking multiple medications first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Most older adults who take medication take all of it together the moment they wake up. Blood pressure pill, cholesterol medication, diabetes medication, blood thinner, aspirin, all at once, first thing, often with nothing but coffee. This combination creates a dangerous situation that most people and frankly many doctors never fully discuss. Here is what can happen. Blood pressure medications, especially certain types, lower your blood pressure. If you are already dehydrated from overnight, if you then stand up too quickly, and if you take blood pressure medication on an empty stomach with no food to slow its absorption, your blood pressure can drop to a level that reduces blood flow to the brain significantly. This does not always cause dramatic symptoms. Sometimes it is just a few minutes of foggy thinking, slight confusion, or weakness that passes and gets forgotten. But what is happening in the brain during those minutes matters. Blood thinners taken at the wrong time or combined with certain foods and supplements without guidance can thin the blood more than intended. The opposite risk, blood that does not thin enough or clots unexpectedly, can also occur with incorrect timing and interactions. Statins for cholesterol are actually better taken in the evening for most people because the body produces more cholesterol at night. Taking them in the morning is not dangerous, but it may not be optimizing their effectiveness either. The simple message here is this: the timing and combination of your morning medications deserves a specific, dedicated conversation with your doctor, not a passing mention. A real conversation where you go through each medication, when it should be taken, whether it should be taken with food, and whether the combination of everything you take together at the same time is genuinely the safest approach for your body. Write down every medication you take, the dose, and the time you currently take it. Bring that list to your next appointment and ask your doctor to review the timing with you specifically. That conversation alone could meaningfully reduce your morning risk. Now let me give you something practical to put all of this together. A 5-step morning routine that genuinely protects your brain during the most vulnerable hours of your day. Step 1. When you wake up, do not move immediately. Spend 30 seconds lying still. Breathe slowly. Move your feet and legs gently. Then sit on the edge of the bed for another 30 seconds before standing. 60 seconds total. Your cardiovascular system needs this transition time. Step 2. Before anything else, drink 1 to 2 glasses of room temperature water. This is your most important morning habit for brain protection. It immediately begins addressing the overnight dehydration that thickened your blood while you slept. Step 3. Spend 5 minutes moving gently before sitting down for breakfast. A slow walk around the house, some light stretching, gentle deep breathing. This activates your circulation gradually rather than asking it to go from 0 to full function instantly. Think of it as warming up your engine before you drive. Step 4. Eat breakfast within the first hour of waking. Something that includes protein, healthy fat, and fiber. Eggs, avocado, oatmeal. These foods stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and provide the stable energy your brain needs during the morning hours. Breakfast also creates the right environment for taking medications that need food. Step 5. Take your medications after breakfast unless your doctor has specifically instructed otherwise. And if you have never had a dedicated conversation about the ideal timing for each individual medication you take, please make that conversation your priority at your very next appointment. Before we wrap up, I want to share 3 warning signs that deserve immediate medical attention. Not next week, not after the holidays. Today. Dizziness or blurred vision when you stand up in the morning more than occasionally. This is not normal aging. It is your cardiovascular system telling you it is struggling with that transition and it deserves evaluation. Waking up with headaches regularly. Morning headaches can indicate blood pressure problems overnight, sleep apnea, or dehydration severe enough to affect brain function. None of these should be dismissed. Any episode of confusion, difficulty finding words, or temporary weakness on one side of your body in the morning, even if it only lasted a few seconds and passed completely, These episodes are called transient ischemic attacks, and they are serious warning signals that require immediate medical evaluation. Do not wait and do not assume it was nothing, because it resolved quickly. If you recognize any of these signs, please contact your doctor today. Your brain is the most valuable thing you have. Every memory, every relationship, every moment of independence and clarity, all of it lives there. Protecting it does not require expensive treatments or complicated protocols. It requires knowing what the risks are and making small, intentional changes to the habits that most people never think twice about. The first hour of your morning matters more for your brain health than most people realize, and now you know exactly what to do differently. If today's video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone you love who is over 60. The morning habits I described today are ones almost every older adult is doing right now without knowing the risk they carry. Subscribe if you are not already part of this community. Every week, I bring you honest, clear health information built specifically for adults over 60. And leave a comment below. What is the one change from today's video you are going to make starting tomorrow morning? I read every single comment and I genuinely want to hear from you. Take care of yourself. Your brain is working hard for you every single second. Give it the protection it deserves every single morning. I will see you in the next one. Just remember, this video is for educational and informational purposes only. Always talk to your doctor or healthcare provider before making any changes to your medications, supplements, diet, or health routine.